Hello, sunshine. Welcome to Be Visible with Veronica, the podcast where bold conversations and soul-aligned strategy help you awaken your most powerful self. I'm your host, Veronica Bond. Get ready to stop dimming your light, own your magic, and finally be so visible you can't be ignored. Let's get visible. Hello, sunshine. Welcome to Be Visible with Veronica. Last week's episode with Tracy Castor and The Good Life was epic. You'll want to stay tuned to that. Go back and listen because she shares her journey from Canada to Germany to the United States and what a sewing machine did for her entrepreneurial journey. But today we have Annie Gerber in studio with us. She is a lifelong friend that has a wonderful business story and how she was able to move through as a serial entrepreneur and move from her head to her heart in creating this new beautiful space of conscious connecting in business. And I'm so excited to introduce her to you today. Annie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So I just want us to take a minute because one of the things that has come up over and over again over the course of these episodes and talking with entrepreneurs, especially this time of year, things are racing, their schedules are getting out of control. They're talking about being busy, which we all have heard Warren Buffett say, busy is the new stupid. So let's not be busy. Let's be in control of our own calendar, not let our calendar control us. Mm-hmm. And one of the practices that we get to do that maybe is new to some of the entrepreneurs out there that are paying attention and listening is this deep breathing, but really getting centered in our heart and in our belly. And I just want us to do that together before we start today.
I need that.
So let's just get grounded in that space and center with your right hand over your heart and your left hand on your belly. And let's just take a deep breath together. And let it out. Let's do it one more time. So if you're listening or watching us do this today, I hope that you don't want to close your eyes if you're driving, happen to listen and drive to the podcast. But if you're watching or listening later, just practice that for yourself when you find your energy level getting a little maxed out, or you think you're too much in your head. Take a moment, put everything aside, put your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your solar plexus. Is that what this section is? Okay. And then just do that very deep conscious breath. Would you have the audience do anything else? Would you have them hold it for a certain amount of time or do it a number of times, Annie?
Yeah, I would say a few more breaths, actually. Just check in with the rest of your body as well. Just like check in with your shoulders, if they're tight, or just your whole body, and just checking in and becoming present and taking those few minutes to just center.
Now, coming into this entrepreneurial conversation of centering, I know that you started years ago, 20s? Were you in your 20s
when you 26 when I first became an entrepreneur.
So you were the owner of an air conditioning company.
Co-owner, yes. I had a partner, and we were 50-50.
And then you opened with your husband.
Actually, David opened the store by himself. I was still running the air conditioning business.
Okay.
And he opened the store in 1999 and ran it by himself. And then I came to the store in 2010 when I left the air conditioning business. And we've been running it together.
And what I wanted you to share today, and what I think is so important for entrepreneurs as they're listening around the world, is what does it feel like to go from what could be looked at as a very head-centric business model in those two operational landscapes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
One that you became partner of, owner of, and then with your current husband, David, of how many years now? Let's celebrate that.
It's almost 31. It'll be 31 in March.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then now going from the head to the heart. because you're moving you've moved into this beautiful, conscious, heart-centered business.
Mm-hmm.
And your journey has taken you through so many paths.
It really has.
To recognize that this is where you want to spend time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you know your purpose and calling is.
Yes.
So what was that like for you? So, and knowing you wanted to make this shift, how did you have that conversation? Did you need to have a conversation with your partners or people or did you just start to decide and then all the elements were showing up for you? Like, this is such a great conversation because so many women think they have to always stay in the thing that got them going.
Right, exactly. Well, I know for my first business, the air conditioning business, I wasn't having fun anymore. And myself and my partner, we were kind of, we were just going different places, and I was ready for a change. And one day I asked David, can we work together? Is there space for me at the store? So it was more of like, I internally felt that it was time to shift. And as I moved into this new space where I am now with the human design, that it's still evolving. I'm still trying to figure out where that fits in. And I'm just kind of letting that shine through because I'm still involved with the furniture store. Mm-hmm. But it's really helped me, even in our business now, just because there is so much presence and heart-centered energy around what I'm doing that it's just kind of, it infuses into the other businesses.
That's what I was going to ask is, do you see it infuse,
yes.
integrate, resonate, be part of all that you do? Because it's not just a lifestyle or an understanding of, oh, I'm a Gemini or I'm a Cancer or I'm a Scorpio.
Exactly.
It's really understanding this whole aspect of life. And I love how you shared just today, it was this permission slip for who you are and how you show up in the planet. Mm-hmm. And that is this conscious business that I think so many people listening and watching will go, wait, did she say human design? What is that? Is it interior design? Because she also has this furniture company business.
Right. It can be a little confusing.
But why don't you share what that is? Because I think even for me, I use it in my client work. I use it in my marketing. I use it in my visibility. And when I got this permission slip to show up in my strengths, when most of my life people made me feel like they were weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I didn't know that they were actually my strengths.
Like gifts.
Being a highly sensitive person, being an empath, having this all-knowing, knowing that people would say, well, you're just a know-it-all. And well, no, really, truly. There were things I knew when I was little. And when you and I connected and started talking about human design, and you got certified and became a Reiki master and all these other beautiful modalities that you were putting in your toolbox, I watched all these other things happen too, in not just in my life, but in relationship building and in leveling up our consciousness and how we show up with a little bit more power. So talk about what that did for you.
I think just starting with the human design, just having more awareness of who I came here to be, more awareness of my own energy. And like you said, that permission slip. And now knowing that, and as I embody that more and more, it's something that will be lifelong. But I'm able to expand into who I came here to be, and be more comfortable with that and be more present with that. Just with that energy that I came here to be. I do have a lot of leadership energy in me, and just trusting that. I mean, when I look back on my life, yes, I was a business person at 26 years old. I need to honor that. And just giving myself grace, but having that awareness has been huge for me. And that's what I think the human design brings.
Did you ever have fear of letting go what was familiar and stepping into this space that you had to have trust around?
Yes, I still do. Yeah, I find that each thing that I do, I'm having to move through fear. And
how do you get grounded in the faith space? Is there a tool that you use, or is there additional education you found really helpful for you to leave what you knew behind as something that was working, paying the bills, creating revenue, but not making you happy.
Yes, I think the human design really has given me that trust to just follow. So I'm a generator. So I'm here to respond and to do what lights me up. So I really have to pay attention to what's lighting me up and what's not lighting me up, and to be okay to say, this is not lighting me up. And I'm still working through that. Like, some of us are so conditioned to say yes. And when I don't feel a yes, to work through that guilt, that the conditioned guilt.
Sure.
So just knowing that about myself.
And where does your yes come from? Is it from your head, from your heart, from your
No.
solar plexus? Like, where does your yes come from?
Mine comes from my sacral. It's a gut knowing. It's either a yes or no, and it's verbal. It's either mm-hmm or mm-mm. And I know in that moment, and when I can trust that, I'm always in the right spot. Sometimes I try to override it when I get into my head, or let my head take over. But the more practices that I do, and it is a practice. I always have to try and get back to that space of being present and trust what is the right direction for me.
I love that so much, because we talked last week about honoring this serial entrepreneurship and standing in that presence and power at 26 years old, taking on an air conditioning company.
Yes.
Where you didn't see women in that field.
No, you're right. Yeah. You really didn't back then. And I learned so much from that experience.
Which then gave you the platform to want to work with your husband and be in his space. And
yes.
I did that with my husband for 17 years. I left corporate, where I had a great sales job. I mean, my top 2 accounts were Phoenix Suns and Bank of America. And those were great wins for me at a young age. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. But then it wasn't anymore.
Yes.
And the joy fell off. It became a have to wake up to go do the thing. And also what I realized is I was making money for somebody else.
Exactly.
And I knew that I could always trust on me and my time and my energy and my effort. And how do I create revenue and resources for my family? And then you partnered with David.
Yes.
And Gerber Furniture grew. And you've hit 7 figures a number of times, which is incredible. So how long have you had the store?
It opened in 1999. David opened in 1999.
Okay. And then as you've incorporated all of these practices, and now you're really this beautifully guided facilitator in human design and Reiki and Tantra and all these beautiful modalities, how have you seen it impact the store and your relationships in your family and with your partner, who's your husband?
Yeah, well, with Tantra, it's more earth Tantra, and Tantra is everything. It's it's being in our bodies. It's being just going from birth to death. It's just being in this experience of life.
Okay.
And so I have become more grounded and more sure of myself with the help of human design as well, and just all of that. And just me being present when I'm at the store and there might be a stressful situation, and I can help David kind of calm down and just, I feel like we've both become more centered and more clear. And it's just not about the stress so much anymore. Of course, we have those situations, but I feel like we handle them a lot better. And it could be the age and the wisdom, too. We've been doing this for quite a few years, and you learn from that. But I really do think the other practices have helped immensely. Like, I don't know where we'd be.
Do you think that it's helped you find joy in other ways that you're able to reach women and men now in ways that are not just in their environment and what they're bringing into their home, which is amazing because you create that energy in your store too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the pieces that people are bringing in, and everything we do is very energetic, I believe, and it's what you attract into your space. But I watch you, and I've watched you in business now for 4.5, 5 years, and we always talk about how we elevate each other and how you see me do different things. And for those of you who are like, okay, what's Veronica's human design? I'm a 5/2 manifester. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yes. Wasn't that beautiful to understand your energy? It's like, it was, like you said, it was just, it was validation almost.
It was
a sigh of relief.
So powerful because when we discovered this 2019-ish, I think,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
that's when, oh my gosh, yes, right before COVID, that is when I also discovered that the business model so after not working with Chuck for all that time, so 2010, we went on separate paths of business. We've been married 37 years, so not separate paths completely, but what I discovered in that business model that I took on was it was just a continued personal development journey.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the one mantra was always, would you rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts or 100% of your own? But what I realized in that journey is I can always trust my efforts.
Yes.
And I know how hard I work. I'm not afraid of hard work. What I need to learn how to do is how to set up gates and learn discernment. And every time I learned a new lesson, or it was like a stretch of the muscle. I mean, we were talking about Pilates and working out today with Tamara, who did our makeup. Thank you, Tamara Bickley. What we were practicing in that, what we were talking about today is, being in the gym or working out or strengthening the body. And there's so many different ways to strengthen this human design that we came here to be and be in that purpose.
Yes, exactly. Right. And we have to always keep flexing that and keep strengthening it and keep practicing in that.
And the thing that I've witnessed too is when you stretch and grow, it's because you're being called to elevate to a new space in business, in new resources, and new expansion, in new people around you who are also elevating. And if you're an entrepreneur, we're looking at how do I put myself in a room of people that are 5X and 10X where I am. You have to also be prepared to be in that room. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be the leader in the room, the most experienced in the room. If that's the room you're in, you need to find a new room.
Absolutely.
In fact, on a call today, one of our mentors shared when you're in, and it was Brianna Day from eWomen Network. She said, if you are the expert in the room, then you've put yourself in a box, I think it was not an expansion. She said, and boxes have lids.
It's a very good visual. Yes, you're right.
It was such a good visual.
Yeah.
You were like, light bulb moment. Say it again.
Yep. We always need to be stretching. Always need to be looking for that expansion. That's what we're here for. We're here to expand and be the best we can be.
And I love that this is a global TV show and podcast because people from around the world who don't have access to community and who have to turn to books or podcasts or TV shows to listen to these expansive conversations, they can pick up on some tools and maybe go look and see about human design and what that looks like. How do people find you, Annie?
Oh, they could go to my website. It's anniegerber.net. And it has access to all the things that I do. I do human design readings, and I facilitate other events just to help people understand their own energy and feel what that energy feels like in their body.
I love that, and we'll for sure put it in the show notes so other people can access it. If you were to look at one truth this year for you, that could be a tool for a listener, that was a realization for you moving forward into 2026, into the new year, what would that be?
What would the tool be?
What would the truth be?
What would the truth be?
If there was a truth that came to fruition for you this year, for Annie.
That's a tough question. I think the truth for me is to just trust and honor what I came here to do, and to just keep following that and follow what lights me up. And as I do that,
how do you discover what lights you up? As somebody sitting here listening going, okay, the truth of who she came here to be, if I wanted to tap into that, or what lights me up, like, how do you recognize it for you that maybe if somebody's listening, they can go, oh, that's what that is?
Oh, well, I would say get your human design reading, if not by me, by somebody, so you have a more awareness of your energy. And it really helps you tune to your own essence, really, and to interact with other people's essence. And you don't even need to know a lot about it, but just that little bit of awareness really helps you understand. And then you might understand in human design, it tells you, or it shares with you the best way to make decisions, your authority. So I would encourage people to tap into that and, what is the proper way to make decisions? And it's not in a thinking way, it's in a way that you feel, and just being able to tap into that and trust that process.
When you were looking at your life in business, did you create a roadmap or a vision of, I'd love my life to look like this in 5 years or this in 3 years? And in order to do that, kind of reverse engineer, and then knowing those things of what lights you up, makes you happy, what creates a lifestyle that you want with your husband and your family. Is that how you're making decisions in that intuitive path for you? Or do you look at it a little differently?
I think I do. I think for me, I look at what I don't want. I know what I don't want. And so I explore all the different ways until I figure out, oh, this way is right for me. And I think that's where I am in my business now. With the human design and the body awareness. I'm just trying to figure out where that wants to go, and I'm honoring that because I'm busy with the furniture store, and that keeps me busy. But I don't want it to be something that I end up not loving anymore. I really want to continue with this work and just find out how it works best for me and how I can really find fulfillment in all of that I can share and still just wake up every day excited about it.
One of the things that I love about what you just shared, Annie, is you also are a master of knowledge. Like, you're always looking to expand your knowledge base, and you're willing to look at multiple sides of a conversation or that knowledge in order to set yourself up for your success, which also equates to all the tentacles that you have out there on how you touch others. Your family, your now beautiful new grandbaby girl, Margot. Let's talk about that for a minute, because we entrepreneurs want to leave a legacy. Mm-hmm. They want to be solution oriented. They know they have this calling, this higher purpose, like you said, your truth, your knowing, your path of who you came here to be. And you've created all these tools for you to give you those answers, to really tap into that intuitive nature, which I think is the bottom line. All of these are tools to just tap into what our soul is telling us. Mm-hmm. But maybe our head gets in the way and blocks that conversation.
Yes. That's the head is like your ego. Sometimes it wants to trick you, but your heart, your soul, it never wants to trick you. And following
we have 7-8 inches between both brains, the heart brain and your real brain. Mm-hmm. How did you learn to drop into your heart?
Just finding that presence and trusting. And I think all the lifelong experience has taught me that as well. Again, what don't I like? What don't I like about all of these situations? And I don't like to be in my head. It's not it's not a fun place to be when,
what do they
I'm
say?
stressed.
60,000 thoughts that repeat every day?
Exactly. So I want to be more intentional with the thoughts. Yeah. So I don't like being stressed. I like being calm and grounded, and that feels good to me. And of course, I always get to that space where I get frazzled, but I like being able to come back.
I love how we talked about how quickly you can come back, because that has been something I've noticed in the work that I've done. Is something that used to derail me when I was younger, maybe for a week or a month at a time.
Exactly.
And really shift how I was reacting to something. I can now process it and move through it like that, like literally this fast.
Yes.
And what's so beautiful about that is you're like, oh, like that little voice on the shoulder you don't want there, go sit in the corner. I don't need to talk to you right now.
Right.
That is my old self. But I've also been able to look at that space of Veronica who grew up in that period or in that timeline of that 21-year-old or 16-year-old or 14-year-old or 4-year-old.
Exactly.
40-year-old, 50-year-old, now 59, and I'm in this beautiful new space of 30 days into what it's like to be 60. Like, I'm on my 60th journey around the planet.
Yes.
And there's so much wisdom and beauty and essence there that all of those other Veronicas, I just invited to the party.
Yes.
Come play with me.
Yes.
Like, thank you for holding space for me. You were so strong and beautiful, and you did everything you were meant to do at that age. But now coming into this,
Right.
look
at how far we've come.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm rebirthing.
I agree. I feel
myself.
that. I feel that way at this stage in my life as well. I love being this age. I love the wisdom and just, it feels different. It feels good.
It kind of, what's that jar that's out there right now? We don't cuss on this show, but it's the give a fuck.
Okay.
I'm like, I can say that. I think that the Let Them from Mel Robbins is really in them.
Everybody should read that one. Yeah, right. Exactly. No, we talked about that.
It's not just let them. It's a 4-letter word that it's okay to say out loud, and I should probably just say it on this show. That would be a first. Everybody's like, is she going to? Bet on it. What episode is that word going to come out of Veronica's mouth?
But it's true. We don't have control over other people. We just, we get to be with ourselves.
So you've got this beautiful 4-month-old almost in your life.
Margot.
She's your first grandbaby. What do you want her to know when she's looking at this, when she's older? What do you want that future Margot to know today about her journey and you?
Yeah, just that she's a miracle. For the fact that she's here, it's just a miracle that all of us are here. We're walking miracles. And for her to understand that and just know that from the get-go, and maybe not have her life be so dramatic as it has for us in the past, because she does know her energy, and she does know how much she's loved and the worthiness piece, and why she's here. It's such a treat to have her in our lives. I'm learning so much from her every day.
I think we talked about that too, us moms that were getting ready for the show today, sharing about when you can look at your children as wisdom keepers and allow them to share that part of themselves, even if it drives us nuts.
Yes.
To be able to open that space for our kids to be who they need to be.
Exactly.
And set our own ego aside and what our own parenting constructs are about our kids or expectations. But also communicate with them. I think it's okay to say, oh, this is the path I thought we'd be going down or talking about, and I want to hear why you think this is better for you.
Exactly, because they came in as their own person. They have their own path as well, and we need to, as parents, honor that and listen to that and not make it our expectations.
It definitely shifted for me when Charlie came into our life 2 years ago in how I show up and the footprint that I'm leaving behind, and really being intentional about my business and creating a space there with visibility. And that's why Be Visible with Veronica started.
Yes.
And it was to create a platform for women to share their voices and their stories so that they feel not only seen and heard. And I've talked to some of our guests, and they're like, I haven't even listened to my own episode, because they're nervous about hearing themselves.
I get that. Yeah, that was like when you asked me to be on the show. I think I shared with you. It was like, yes, it was a hell yes for me. But then it was immediate. It was like,
oh shit.
It was an oh shit. And now what am I going to do? Because it was a yes. I knew that I wanted to do it, but there was that fear there. And here I am.
And here you are. Yeah. And how's it been?
It's been really, you're so easy to talk to. And I felt completely grounded as soon as I got in here. So thank you for making it so easy.
You're so welcome. Well, every guest that comes on the show gets a fun little box from me that says Hello Sunshine.
Love it.
And I really should find a way to curate my own Hello Sunshine box and create it. But I found this actually on Amazon. But I love all the little Hello Sunshine options. But I just want to thank you. And I want you to always remember that you are the sunshine, and you are so powerful in how you show up. And when I said the tentacles of who you connect to and how you reach out, it's true. I watch you build community around you with purposeful intent, and you make everybody's life better for it, Annie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you as well, Veronica. If you know your human design, Veronica is a manifester, and she impacts people, and you always impact me. I always feel like I have so much more room to grow when I interact with you. It's like you help me push push myself a little bit further. So thank you for you being you.
I received that. Thank you so much. And if you want to connect with Annie, please go to anniegerber.net. Learn about your human design as part of your business. Not only do I have my clients have their human design reading, my husband, my children, my grandbaby, people around me, people on my leadership team. I want to know how I'm communicating with them. And also, I want them to know how they're interacting and communicating with me. And when you know that, the magnetism and the momentum that's created because you're operating in a space that you were created to be.
Absolutely.
And I love that. And then there's also no fighting, like you're kicking down a door.
Right.
It really is about...
It minimizes the resistance, and you don't have to fight. You're able to just flow and flow with your own energy. It really is a beautiful tool.
Entrepreneur should know that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Not even if you're an entrepreneur, just anyone. That's how much I love human design.
Yes, of
yes,
course.
I know it's...
But this is for entrepreneurs.
Yes.
But yes, everybody should know their human design.
Yes.
I think that it's powerful. And the other thing is know it for yourself.
Yes.
Don't try to know it for others.
Exactly.
Because knowing it for my family or the people that I work with, it's just this overall, oh, okay.
It's an awareness.
I understand this awareness piece, but really knowing how I operate is what creates a little bit more smooth sailing. It shows me how to set my sail in my business.
Absolutely.
It gives me the direction for following a particular course. Mm-hmm. And it also helped me understand when I need to make a shift.
Yes.
Because I will look back and go, oh, that's what's going on right now. This is awareness.
Mm-hmm. You can see the patterns. And you can see, in human design, you can see when you're in your highest vibration and then when you're kind of stuck off on the side of the road. And it helps you come back to center, come back with that balance.
Well, I hope that many people go on to your website, Annie, and find that connection with you. And like you said, I mean, people are going to Google it and they're going to go online. But if you want to have some facilitation in that and you want to hear more about Annie's journey, please... and you want this to go out to more people, please share this episode and share the Be Visible with Veronica, whether you're listening to it on Spotify or Apple or iHeart or watching it on YouTube, so that more people can find this information and incorporate it in their life.
Yes.
Thank you for being a guest today, Annie.
Thank you for having me, Veronica.
So next week's episode will be a nonprofit spotlight with Shantoya Nicole Thomas. We are talking about how she's making an impact with youth around the world and here in Arizona, and what her brilliance is and why you need to stay tuned to that episode. As you know, every fourth episode we feature a nonprofit that focuses on women, children, or animals. Bye for now. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Be Visible with Veronica. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it, tag me, and pass it on. Your presence has power, and the world is better when you let it be seen. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and keep showing up as the unstoppable force you were born to be. I'll see you next time.